Ringneck Energy, their mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunity.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Tide Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Wow, Bill, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Most people don't think about
back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box. Owyhee Federal.
We'll get a boys score along with you, as well as the Pierre boys are at Sioux Falls Christian in the first round of the soccer tournament. But the girls game continues on River 92.7. Tonight on KGFX, we bring you Governor Volleyball. Pierre Governors taking on the Huron Tigers, and we welcome you to Riggs High Gym. I'm Brian Oakland, along with Haley Hansen back in studio. Brian Menning is on camera. He'll run the show for us video-wise, and you can watch our volleyball match on the KGFX page of DRGnews.com with the help of Live Ticket. You can also watch at GoGovs.live. Of course, we have the smartphone app that you can watch as well at DRGnews.com and the KGFX page. Coverage of Governor Volleyball brought to you on KGFX and our website and web presence by your Pierre Sports marketing sponsors, including Bank West, the Brittany Shufflebine Agency, Beck Motors, Dakota Storm Roofing, and Superior Concrete by Capital City Ford, Lincoln Toyota, Avera Orthopedics, Rinky Gray Wealth Management, Overhead Door, Kruger Contracting, Century Business Products, and our friends at Live Ticket. Governor Volleyball also brought to you in part by Owyhee Federal Credit Union, Slumberland Furniture in Pierre, Wagner Auto, and Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Ferding Electric, Kathy Sonnenschein Properties, the Ramcota Hotel, American Bank and Trust, Sander Auto Parts, Bauman Lumber, the Pierre Regional Airport, by Hag Ag, Avera Health, May Adam Law Firm, TMA, Dakota Mart, Graham Tire, Access Health in Fort Pierre as well. And tonight's game brought to you within the broadcast by our special in-game sponsors, including Bank West, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, AgTegra, CHS River Plains, Family Dental, Bauman Lumber, and Wagner Auto in Pierre. They're the one place to go. We invite you to keep up to date with the scores of tonight's game, tonight's match. At the end of each set, we'll give you that Wagner Auto scoreboard, sponsored by Wagner Auto, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer in Pierre. Once again, Brian Oakland with you. Governors played pretty well, but did get swept by one of the top teams in the state on Saturday, their last time out. That was against Brandon Valley. They went 25-21 in that third set, though, hoping for a little bit of confidence against a team that has had their struggles in the Huron Tigers, similar to the Governors. Huron, though, 4-9, a couple of matches better in the win column than the Governors, and they came off a tough week taking on Sioux Falls, Washington, that did sweep them, but Coach Josh Lean telling us that they did play pretty well. Then they went 3-1 against a Sioux Falls Lincoln team that I was very high on when we saw Lincoln earlier in the season. So Huron also, wins are hard to come by, but they have been improving, and they're coming in with a little bit of confidence as well. Pretty good matchup, we expect, between Pierre and Huron, the Highway 14 rivalry in the old district 3AA. Renewed here, and this is the first of two matches between these two teams this season. It'll be 2 weeks from tonight when we head over to Huron, and the Governors will take on the Tigers in the Huron Arena. Sophomore match is going on right now, and Huron has a 15-12 lead. We're in the second set. Huron won the first set easily. Huron also won the JV match, which went a full 3 sets. Huron won that third set, 15-11. So we'll see how the varsity match goes in just a bit. And after a 3-minute timeout to start our Bank West pregame show, we'll talk about what's coming up. We'll take a look at the action and the results from over the weekend. We will talk keys to success with both head coaches coming up and starting lineups and a whole lot more. All part of your Bank West pregame show, and it's Bank West for the best. You're listening to Pierre Governor Volleyball on your official voice of the Governors, KGFX, and DRGnews.com.
There when you need them the most. Bank West insurance agents Sam Kenneke and Angie Taylor are here to make your life easier.
As an independent agency, we're able to customize an insurance plan to fit your individual needs.
We work with dozens of companies to find you the best possible coverage and the best price.
For your insurance needs, contact Sam or Angie at Bank West Insurance in Pierre. Bank West, convenient, connected, committed. Insurance products are not deposits, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, and may go down in value.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports, from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it in time for this game. See live and archive video of all games. And when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota high school sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
I'm Scott Nye. As a coach for the Pierre Governors, I know a winning game plan is crucial. When it comes to your finances, you deserve one too. At New Edge Advisors, our name is new, but our commitment to you isn't. We're the same trusted team you've known, and we've expanded our playbook of resources to help you plan for retirement, manage investments, and protect your future. Let's build the strategy that gets your financial future into the end zone.
Securities offered through LPL Financial. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC is a separate entity from LPL Financial.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is here for you. They make it easy when looking for a new vehicle, getting all available vehicle information so you can spend less time researching and more time enjoying your purchase. Shop their extensive inventory from home at CapitalCityFordToyota.com or stop into Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Count on them for all your service needs with convenient scheduling and in-stock parts. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre, 605-224-7378.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Riggs High Gym as we bring you Governor Volleyball tonight, updating the score. It's 18-17. It's now Pierre in this second set, leading Huron in the sophomore match. So we might even have extra time if the Governors can continue and prolong the matter here and force a third set, just like the JV match went as well. We welcome you to our BankWest pregame show, and for all of those on the road, whether you are in town for soccer or for volleyball or for whatever the reason, doesn't even have to be for high school sports, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds us all, as they celebrate being a part of a team, please slow the drive, arrive alive, and buckle up, too, every trip, every time. Those reminders from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. If you're coming to Riggs High tonight, remember it is Dig Pink night. You will not be out of place if you are wearing pink, as the Pierre Governors and their players and coaches and staff honor those who are battling or who have lost the battle to breast cancer here in this month of October. Of course, we celebrate or we observe breast cancer awareness, and that's something that, of course, over the years has been a very dear topic or a troublesome topic to those in Governor Land. Of course, it was in the last year we lost Coach Kim Byerly to that dreaded breast cancer, and we certainly miss her, and I'm sure the Governors will keep her close to their hearts here tonight. As you can probably tell, so will some of the announcers in this one also. But Huron will actually be wearing their pink jerseys tonight. The Governor pinks that they have aren't really conducive for playing pretty well, pretty good volleyball. So Huron is getting in to the mix tonight, but the Governors will wear their home whites once we get to this volleyball match. So glad to have the Huron Tigers in observing breast cancer awareness on Dig Pink night at Riggs High Gym as well. Let's take a look at what's happened to the state of volleyball over the last week or so. Huron with a couple of matches last week, and of course coming up on the short end, but still playing pretty well, all things considered. They did get swept a week ago tonight at Sioux Falls, Washington, 3-0, but Coach Josh Lane very happy with how his team played against a Metro team in Sioux Falls, Washington. Then they played that up-and-coming Sioux Falls Lincoln squad at home on Thursday, and they did get a set off of them, but still, Sioux Falls Lincoln wins at 3-1. That puts Huron's record at 4-9 on the season. Governors on Saturday played their first match of the last 2 weeks. They played their first match in 2 weeks on Saturday when they played Brandon Valley, and that was a 3-game sweep in favor of Brandon Valley, dropping the Governors to 2-9 on the season. But 2 out of those 3 sets, for the most part, Governors did have a lot to smile about, a lot to be confident about as they come into this match with the Huron Tigers. And before we look at the schedule of events coming up tonight, here is how the power rankings currently stand in South Dakota. Top seed is still Harrisburg with a 15-2 record. Brandon Valley improved to 13-2, their 11th straight win when they beat the Governors here on Saturday. They're still the 2 seed. O'Gorman is still holding strong at number 3 with a 10-2 mark. Rapid City Stevens has played a lot of volleyball. They're 4th overall with a 20-3 record. Watertown checking in at number 5 with 11-6 mark. Sioux Falls Lincoln 11-4 is the 6th power-rated team, followed by Spearfish at 13-7 and Mitchell at 9-4. Mitchell is pulled ahead of Aberdeen Central, who is the 9 seed right now at 7-5. Followed by Sioux Falls Washington, 8-3. Sioux Falls Jefferson then in the 11 spot at 5-6. Rapid City Central in the 12. Brookings is 6-14 in the 13 seed. Huron with their 4-9 record currently sits 14th in the top power rankings. They would qualify for the Sodax 16, as would Yankton and Sturgis. Sturgis putting some wins together. They're now 7-13, and that would be the top 16. Huron, if the Sodak 16 were tonight, they would go to O'Gorman, who is the number 3 seed. But Pierre, of course, one of 4 teams on the outside looking in. Sioux Falls, Roosevelt, T-Area, Pierre, and Douglas are 17 through 20 and would miss out on the Sodak 16. So, of course, for the Governors, wins being a premium, this being maybe a better matchup and one that they expect to be competitive in. If they can pull out a win here tonight, certainly would help their cause in trying to get above that Mendoza line and cracking the top 16. Huron at Pierre tonight, one of 7 matches featuring AA teams in action this evening. Elsewhere, Aberdeen Central hosts the T-Area Titans. Watertown playing host to Sioux Falls Roosevelt, while Brookings entertains Sioux Falls Jefferson. It is Harrisburg out of the ESD going to Western Christian Iowa, that volleyball powerhouse and a Class A school out of Northwest Iowa. In Sioux Falls, it is Washington at Lincoln, the 2 teams that Huron saw last week. And also out west, the Northern Hills rivalry has Sturgis playing at Spearfish. Further into the week ahead, there are 4 matches on Thursday, neither of which will involve these 2 teams that we'll see here tonight. Brandon Valley hosts Yankton. T-Area plays host to Sioux Falls Lincoln. Washington goes to O'Gorman, while Douglas plays at Belle Fourche in the Black Hills Conference. It is Huron back in action then on Friday. They and Mitchell will host Rapid City Stevens and Central. Huron gets Stevens on Friday, Central on Saturday afternoon. Mitchell starts with Central on Friday, and they'll get Stevens in their new gym on Saturday afternoon. Meanwhile, the Governors, after tonight, will be next in action when they go to Lenox, South Dakota, just south and east of Sioux Falls, or southwest, actually. Lenox is an unbeaten team out of Class A right now. So a tough matchup coming up on Saturday, but we'll see how the Governors can fare against the Lenox Orioles in a match that is slated to start at 2:30 Saturday afternoon. We'd be on the air at 2 p.m. Also on Saturday, O'Gorman and Roosevelt will be in a Western Christian tourney in Northwest Iowa, while Harrisburg heads down to Omaha to play in a tournament at Omaha Scott High School. In the week ahead, Monday and Tuesday, a quick look has T-Area playing at Madison. On Monday night, Harrisburg comes here to Riggs High Gym, top team in the state, a 3-time defending champion. They'll take on the Governors on Tuesday. Once again, we'll have that for you either on River 92.7 or KGFX. We hope we'll have soccer coming up on Tuesday night, depending on how far the Pierre Governors soccer teams go. Huron will also be in action next after the weekend on Tuesday when they host a struggling Sioux Falls Roosevelt squad. So a little bit of a look at upcoming action, not to mention the rest of the state of volleyball in Class AA. It's part of our Bank West pregame show, Bank West for the best. The teams are out after the sophomore match has come to an end. Huron won that second set 25-20, so the varsity match is about 20 minutes away or so. That gives us plenty of time to talk more about Governor sports, but we will get into our keys to success after this 3-minute break. You're listening to Pierre Governor Volleyball once again on your official home for the Pierre Governors, KGFX and DRGnews.com.
Dakota's not working, but we do. At Pipe Service Experts, we are trained to see what others miss. Airflow restrictions, pressure imbalances, heat exchanger flaws. That's how we catch little issues before they become cold nights and costly repairs. Because keeping your home warm takes more than just a toolbox. Our certified technicians will get your system running at peak condition. Call Pipe Service Experts for our special $99 precision tune-up today. Call 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official voice of the Pierre Governors.
Our hash mark over the middle and wide open at the 30-yard line. Carter shuffle by and touchdown. Here's Olsen, plenty of time, 3 seconds, gets to shoot, and it's good for 3.
From football, volleyball, and soccer to basketball, wrestling, and softball, follow the Pierre Governors on the official voice of the Govs, River 92.7, and also on the River 92.7 page of the DRG News smartphone app and drgnews.com.
Welcome to Bowie Foods at Al's Oasis Plaza. My great-grandfather, Gus Bowie, opened the first store in 1905. I'm R.F. Bowie, the president of Bowie Foods. We aren't your typical store. You'll find everything you need for your family. You'll save money, and I promise you're going to enjoy your grocery shopping experience. We carry a lot of locally produced products and some things you just aren't going to find anywhere else. South Dakota-owned, family-owned, Bowie Foods.
Bricks, trucking, and
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
I really wasn't set. I was watching and checking in on the soccer teams and the playoff soccer matches that were going on, and I didn't even get it set up to play back my interviews with the head coaches, so we'll do that in just a little bit. But I can tell you that the Pierre Governors soccer playoff matchup with Mitchell is over. The Governors erupting for 4 goals in the second half, and they defeat the Colonels by the score of 5-1. And so the Governors will move on. They are the 3 seed in that tournament field, and they'll go on to face either number 6 Sioux Falls Lincoln or number 11 Watertown. They are in action right now in Sioux Falls. A couple of other scores that are done in girls has Yankton defeating Rapid City Central 3-1. Aberdeen Central blanking Spearfish 2-0. As far as the boys go, there is one score at halftime. It's Rapid City Stevens and Brandon Valley tied at 2-2 out in Rapid City. The Pierre Governors just kicked off with Sioux Falls Christian at 6:30 down in the Sanford Sports Complex in Sioux Falls. The Governors are the 11 seed. Sioux Falls Christian is the 6. Now back here, we're ready for Keys to Success. We'll speak with Josh Lean of the Huron Tigers in just a little bit. We'll start with Kerry Wheelhouse, the head coach of the Pierre Governors, and Keys to Success and Governor Volleyball. And of course, as I push play, it didn't go. We'll try that again. There we go.
In, Coach, I think you're already bracing yourselves for a pretty good competitive match, and let's hope we get one, because the way you played on Saturday, 2 sets out of 3 against one of the top teams in the state in Brandon Valley, certainly gives you cause for confidence, and hopefully you start coming out of that valley and start peaking here before too long.
Yeah, you definitely can't underestimate, though, Huron. They always come in with a pretty tough team, and we've just got to be ready for them to always be coming at us. They're super good diggers. They pick up pretty much anything. So even if that's at the back wall, we got to be ready for it to come over, because they always get it over. So we just got to be ready for that kind of stuff, really go at them and continue to take that momentum from Saturday into today's game.
What conversations did you have with the team in practice or otherwise after Saturday's match, and how well you played?
Yeah, so Saturday's match really lit a fire, showing them that we can compete with those top teams. So we just kept talking about, what little tweaks can we make from that, what worked for us, what didn't work for us, and so that we can continue to do the stuff that worked for us. We had a good talk about, what we're doing in practice and how we're setting that up, and And if that's, that's what's been working for the girls, so we're going to continue to do that. Change up a little bit of what we're doing before the games and using that to our advantage too. So we've just been really working on what works and then keep using that.
All right, good matchup here with the Tigers. Once again, you talked about how good their defense is, and that was going to be one of the points I was going to make anyway. But, they've always been able to put together some pretty good offense and good ball strikers up front too.
Yeah, they've got a lot going for them. Running the 5-1, is a little bit different for us to see, so we just got to be ready for that. It's different than our 6-2 that we're running. So definitely focusing on that kind of thing when we're, getting ready for these guys, but also not underestimating them, especially in the front row. They don't have a ton of height, and they kind of match up better with us height-wise.
And you've got some examples of how you don't need a lot of height to hit hard, and Allie Keys, Sloan Waldron in particular. I mean, these girls can still get up and they can swing. All you got to do is just get them in system and in rhythm.
Yeah, and even right now, one of the things that we've been working a lot on too is the out of system stuff and making sure that, even if we're not in system and they pull us off the net, that we can still attack the ball and do something with it. So making sure that we continue to do that, but hopefully get it to those key people that we know when we need something put away that we can give it to them.
That's a good point. That was one thing I actually did notice on Saturday. It's much improved controlled chaos, I guess. So looking for more of that. Other keys to success tonight against Huron?
Tonight, really just bringing that energy right away, and then also our communication, making sure we're talking and specific talking of what we need to be doing and seeing.
Coach, go get it done, all right?
Thank you.
Fall sports are here, and Beck Motor Company is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like teamwork on the field or court, you can count on teamwork at our dealership. Whether you're driving a new Chevy Equinox, a tough Chevy Silverado, or keeping your current ride in top shape with our service department, Beck Motor Company is here for all your automotive needs. Good luck to all our hometown teams this season. From your friends at Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com, 605-224-5912.
Welcome back at Riggs High Gym. Appreciate Haley Hansen for cutting that to a break. After that, I was in conversation with the father of Paige Sporer, who suffered a knee injury earlier in the season, and we still owed her a Player of the Game T-shirt. So we just got that handed off, and forgot I still had an interview going on. So thank you, Haley, for keeping us going. And let's get back into keys to success. Josh Lean is the head coach of the Huron Tigers. He's had a pretty good history in coaching against the Pierre Governors. And these Huron Tigers have had some pretty good battles here at Riggs High Gym. I wouldn't be surprised if we've got a 5-setter coming up. But our keys to success continue with Coach Lean of the Huron Tigers. Keys to success continue. We're with Josh Lane, the head coach of the Huron Tigers, on a, Coach, I know it's kind of like Pierre. It hasn't been an easy season, but I'm sure you've got some things that you're seeing improvement coming along, although it's been a tough schedule coming into this week now. Lincoln and Washington last week. Right now, how did that go for you, and where are you seeing the good improvements on your team here?
Well, so I'll tell you, we get on the road to Washington on a Tuesday night and go down there, and of course we get swept, but in my mind, there are two kinds of sweeps, right? There are the kind where you know you got your tail whooped, and there are the kind where you lost by a grand total of 7 points. Oh, yeah. And that's what happened to us down in Washington, where a point in the middle of every set changes everything. We just couldn't find that point last Tuesday. So we felt like we were competitive on the road against a Sioux Falls school that's receiving votes consistently in and out of that top 5. And then, of course, we get Lincoln at home on Thursday. And although I think our blocking has improved dramatically, Lincoln is a special animal. I mean, when they got a 6'1" left-handed sophomore setter who's not afraid to attack, and then a small, really explosive opposite or right side hitter that's left-handed, you're just in for a tracking nightmare. And so athletically, I thought we did a good job tracking and getting our hands over the net. But at the end of the day, we just didn't have enough firepower to stay with those guys either. Took them 4 sets. But when they ran away from us, when our serve receive our serve receive fell apart against some really good servers. They stretched it out a little bit more than I would have liked to see, and I would have liked to see us in there. So when you talk about improvements, one, we competed hard with Washington, did everything we could do to stay in that volleyball match, picked up our blocking against Lincoln, wasn't enough, but we got it to 4, and we were in a match that we felt like, a few things here and there. We got to side out at a little bit of a higher efficiency, and we're right there in that one too. So, but none of those translate to seed points, which, I know that the Pierre team is looking at that too. Like, what can we do to improve seed point situations? None of it does that. So at some point, you got to win AA volleyball matches for sure.
Yeah, but it's still a couple of matches that give you a little bit of confidence against a good matchup here for you against Pierre. And, how do you see this one? What are your keys to success?
Well, the reality is keys to success tonight, although we hope it's a crazy battle, right? We hope not to have to use it, but our 2 outside hitters, Allie Davis, Addie Knight, are going to play. I mean, this gym is a great environment because the student section is right on top of those left front, left back players. And so Allie and Addie are going to have to play awesome tonight. And when I say awesome, I mean, they're really good at scoring points. We've got to minimize errors, and they've been up and down on that roller coaster a little bit, like most high school athletes can be. But if we can, one of the things we've said early in the week, we're going to try our tails off to not score points for Pierre, right? We're going to try to keep the ball in play. We're going to try to score points. Now, I'm hoping we don't necessarily have to be heavily relying on those two, because if we're in system, if our serve receive does everything they've been doing this week, we're going to put the ball on Jency's head, and we can use Chloe and Jaylee in the middle. We can give the ball back to Arian. So those boys in the student section can yell all they want to, but the pressure is going to be off those 2 outside hitters, because we want our middles and our opposite to really bear the brunt of that. And if we can do that, those are going to be our keys to success offensively.
All right, Coach, I think you pretty much said it all. Yeah. Good luck tonight. Good to
appreciate it. Yep.
Renewing old acquaintances, head coach Josh Lane and the Huron Tigers. Keys to success, part of our Bank West pregame show. Teams are out warming up. Huron actually continuing in the middle of their warm-ups. Governors will be out there to finish off their pregame warm-ups in about a minute and a half. But that gives us time. Let's pause for 3 minutes. And we've got starting lineups coming up as we continue with more of the Bank West pregame show. This is Pierre Governor Volleyball on KGFX and DRGnews.com.
Do you love watching? Provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Graham Tire of Pierre is your premier hometown shop, specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at grahamtire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Buying or selling a home is a big decision. You need an expert who knows the market and gets results. Scott Darnall at Lee Real Estate in Pierre brings experience, local knowledge, and a no-nonsense approach to help you navigate every step. Whether you're looking for the perfect home or the best offer, Scott is committed to making the process smooth and stress-free. Ready to make your next move? Call Scott Darnall at 605-220-2676. Lee Real Estate, Meredith Lee, broker, owner.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose, a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Olson Plumbing in Pierre provides complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
Check out Iverson back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Back at ringside, continuing once again our Bank West pregame show. Brian Oakland with the play-by-play. If you just missed it, and or maybe you were listening to the Pierre Governors soccer postseason matchup, Governors defeating Mitchell today 5-1, and we know their next opponent. They will take on the Watertown Arrows, as Watertown went to Sioux Falls and upset the Lincoln Patriots 2-1. So a matchup with the Arrows coming up on Saturday. We'll determine that time a little bit later, but we will have that game on River 92.7. And presumably that game would be on in the afternoon and would probably clash with our time of Governor Volleyball when the Govs are taking on the Lennox Orioles down in Lennox. And so expect our next Governor Volleyball broadcast to be here on KGFX, we should say, on Saturday. But again, that is all to be determined. Let's get into the starting lineups in this one. Starters beginning with the visiting Huron Tigers. At setter is a 5'8" senior, Jency Gergen, and she'll set up for the hitters, including some that were specifically named by Josh Lean who have to play well. Addison Knight, a 5'8" junior on the outside. Allie Davis, a 5'7" senior, also on the outside, primarily keying on the left side. And like Coach Lean had mentioned, they will probably be spending a lot of time over in front of the Pierre student body, which is heavily male-dominated tonight, as everybody is dressed in pink this evening. Other hitters include Chloe Carr, a 6-foot senior in the middle. Jaylee Olson, a 6-foot junior middle hitter, and an up-and-coming freshman, and Arian Fitzer. She'll specialize from the right side at 5'9", and a freshman. So it's Jency Gergen setting, Chloe Carr, Addie Knight, Allie Davis, Arian Fitzer, and Jaylee Olson doing most of the hitting. Hilton Hines is a very good libero, 5'8", and a senior for the Tigers, roaming the back row. Tigers are 4-9 on the season right now. They would be seated 14th in the top 16. Their head coach is Joshua Lean, assisted by Tyann Omer and Brianna Johnson. The starting lineups for the Pierre Governors continue to look this way, adding Molly Olson to start at a setter through the back row. She's a 5'6" junior. Sloan Waldron also sets, a 5'7" senior. She'll do some hitting as well, mainly from the right side. Hitters also include Alexis Schleckaway. She's done some hitting, but she's still listed as a defensive specialist. Schleckaway, the 5'7" senior. The middles are Alyssa Lowe, the 6-foot junior, and Addie Novotny, a 6-foot sophomore, along with the outside hitter Allie Keys, a 5'8" junior. And the Governors got Allie Keys going a little bit more on Saturday in the offense, and that's something they're going to have to do even more of tonight, the way Allie was pounding the rock, so we shall we say, on Saturday afternoon. So the Governors start with Molly Olson, Allie Keys, Sloan Waldron, Alexis Schleckaway, Alyssa Lowe, and Addie Novotny. Off the bench in the back row, we'll see Lola Keenholz, a 5'6" senior. Up front, we'll see Marina Bushbaum, a 5'9" junior. Might see some other people, maybe Hannah Eads, a middle hitter, whom we didn't see on Saturday, among others. Hadley Hart is the libero for the Governors, 5'6", and a senior defensive specialist. Governors 2-9 in need of victories. Right now, they're 19th out of 20 in the power rankings. Head coach is Carrie Wheelhouse, assisted by Rachel Arbach and Peyton Gall. Those are our starting lineups, and we've got another starting lineup to give to you, naming the game officials who are the law on the court. We'll do that after this important message you'll hear from the South Dakota Attorney General's Office and their Division of Consumer Protection.
Text scams continue to rise, and victims who have lost money to these scams continues to increase. Consumers cannot rely on a text message to be truthful. If you receive a message regarding a fine for missing jury duty, your utilities being shut off for non-payment, toll road fines, or you've won a sweepstakes, these are scams designed with an urgency and the need to send money now. Do not respond to these texts, and you should contact Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986. That's 800-300-1986 for the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division.
Consumer Protection of the Attorney General's Office giving us our game officials, and we call them the law on the court, sponsored by the Attorney General's Office, but we certainly appreciate their efforts and thank them for doing what is very oftentimes a thankless job in officiating high school sports. Today's game officials at the net will be Belinda Miller. She'll be the R1, Brian Rock, the R2 at the floor. On the floor at the scorer's table, our line judges are Tara Miller and Justin Peterson. Once again, Belinda Miller, Brian Rock, Tara Miller, Justin Peterson, tonight's game officials. Thanks, everybody, for being our law on the court, sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Consumer Protection Division. A 3-minute timeout, and we'll serve it up when we come back. This is Governor Volleyball on KGFX and DRGnews.com.
Mitchell or Huron for great deals and top-notch service. Iverson Auto has it all. From the knowledgeable sales and finance teams to the experienced parts and service teams, plus the best detail shop in the region. Iverson Auto, 77 plus years in our community, locally owned and operated. We have always been here and always will be. Stop in for your next new or used ride or use one of our professional services at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron, or browse our inventory online anytime at iversonauto.com.
At Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Generational success means different things to different people. But to us, it means seeing my daughter follow in my footsteps, keeping the farm in the family, just getting to do this every day. We're Agtegra Cooperative, and we're generationally successful. That's who we are. Agtegra Cooperative.
Hey Josie, why so glum, chum? I can't find a way to get my whole group to one spot without taking all these cars. You haven't heard of Denwall Transportation? They have luxury seating buses with air conditioning, outlets to charge your phone, and other must-haves for traveling. Whoa, no way! Yeah, you should check them out. Where can I find them? You can follow them on Facebook or denwalltransportation.com, or hey, let's give them a call at 605-532-3836. Denwall Transportation, let us do the driving.
Now's your chance. Back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
The girls soccer tournament, that was something that the girls were not able to do last year. They were upset after being highly seeded, upset by Aberdeen Central, but tonight at the PILC soccer fields, they get the victory over the Mitchell Colonels. They'll play next on Saturday, and stay tuned 4 times, but we do know they will play the Watertown Arrows. Governor boys are playing Sioux Falls Christian. They kicked off at 6:30. We'll get an update on that a little bit later on and take a look at that bracket when we get an opportunity. I'm Brian Oakland along with Haley Hansen in our KGFX studios. You're listening to Pierre Governor Volleyball on your official voice of the Pierre Governors, 1060 KGFX, 103.1 FM in Pierre, a member of DRG Media Group, and we are also available at drgnews.com and your DRG News smartphone app, where you can watch this match as well as hear it with our help from Live Ticket, Brian Menning on camera, and he'll keep you updated score-wise as well with the Live Tickets coverage of our web stream in Pierre Governor Volleyball. Opening serve will be coming from the Huron Tigers. You can tell if you're watching, it is Dig Pink night, but the Governors are in their home whites. They have pink sleeves, and Huron brought their pink jerseys themselves, and they are serving away and hitting from right to left. Governors coming right back. Little palm tap from Allie Keys, barely crosses over the net, but Huron pushes it back. The Governors will try to get in system. Not necessarily so. Alyssa Lowe with another tap back. Left side and across, though. This one is down for Allie Davis. And she just had a little palm tap. Nothing hit hard in that opening volley, but Huron with a service points on the opening serve. And they start 1-0. First server is Jency Gergen. She's the setter, and she makes Hadley Hart come up quickly. And Hart with a hit off the arms, and it hits off of her forehead. This will be an ace for Jency Gergen. And Huron with a 2-0 beginning. Every serve, of course, resulting in a point. In rally scoring. Ooh, this one was destined to go long, but it's played on by Molly Olson. And communication might be lacking early on here for the Governors. Gergen with back-to-back aces. Olson just couldn't make a play on that one. Partly because I think it would have gone long. Gergen again with a 3-0 lead. Pulls the string on this one. Schleckaway dives for it. Gets a good pass up to Sloan Waldron. Keys is blocked, and then keeping it alive was Hart, but it's out of bounds. So a good job defensively up front by Arian Fitzer, I believe it was. Getting the low fives here. Fitzer, or that might have been Jaylee Olson. In fact, I'm going to go with Olson on the ace block, and a 4-0 start. Good serve down the line this time, played up by Keys. She'll hammer from the 10-foot line. Govs get it across, but Hilton Hines was there to dig, and the little tap up front right side. This is Arian Fitzer, and Huron in quick system. So right now, the Governors are struggling to get anything on the board, let alone multiple points. Huron up 5-0. And here's a Schleckaway return that's back over across the net. That's not what the Governors wanted. And now, boy, we got people in the net and a delayed call, but it will be the Governors committing the error. Huron with a 6-0 run. Pierre needs a stop in a major way right now. Of course, when things have gone bad for the Govs, they've given up long service rallies. Didn't really do that, I wouldn't say, against the Brandon Valley Lynx. Here they have to free ball the return to the next serve. Here's another little tap and an easy play, knocking it away from the defense up in the middle for the Governors where the double block was. Jaylee Olson taps it home. Huron has a touchdown to start this one, and they lead 7-0. They kick the extra point, of course. Timeout is on the floor, and timeouts in our broadcast brought to you by Agtegra, reminding farmers that acres ahead can maximize your farm's earning potential straight from the start. Contact your local Agtegra cooperative today. Let's take 30, see if the Governors can get going when we come back here on KGFX.
Great deal on smoking fast fiber internet from Venture Communications. Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming, and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
Allied
Welcome
Plumbing.
back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Back at Riggs High, Governors at the guard against frustration. Early on here, they're already trailing 7-0 as Huron has Jency Gergen continuing to serve. We welcome you back to Riggs High Gym. A lob serve up here, and the serve played up to Molly Olson. Two-hand tap is over, and then a hit from the outside and through the hands of the middle back for the Governors. Schleckaway unable to make a play. Should have let it go. It was going long. Allie Davis is given the kill. Thought that was the darker-haired Addie Knight, but we'll go with Davis, who gets a second kill. Now 8-0. Governors in system here, but still away from the net goes Keys, hammering it across. This is Davis. That's off of a Governor block and covered up by Olson. Up to Waldron. There's Keys, but a nice set dig. No, Huron is in the net. So finally the Governors are on the board, and the student body comes to their feet. Huron dig pink night. That'll be an error for Huron to end the opening rally of the night at 8-0. Now one serving 8. The Governors' first serve of the night comes from Hadley Hart. The southpaw gets it across. Hilton Hines gets low to play it up into the air. Huron swinging from the right side. Governors will defend that. Keys on the run, rolls it across off the palm of her hand, and here comes Davis swinging again. Hart, set dig up in the air. Keys with a good one-hander to swat it away after Olson kept it off the floor. Now a redirect in the middle, and Jaylee Olson will tap and score. Huron has 5 kills so far, and I think 4 of them are of the little tap variety. They have a 9-1 lead as Davis is back to serve. Right to left. Once again, Huron in pink. The Governors in white. And a swing from Hadley Hart. Feet on the floor goes the distance, and on the back half of the end line. It's the benefit of the call on that one, and the Governors will get side out back, holding Huron to a one-and-done. Hart with a kill from the back row in the libero position. Huron with a tap out from the middle. Here come the Governors. Waldron leaving it with Marina Bushbaum. Good swing from Myrna, but Huron is able to cover it up, and they'll free ball it back. Now Waldron sends it out opposite side. Far side, Allie Keys is denied for a second time. Fitzer in the area. We didn't give her the first one. We'll give her this ace block, and Huron scoring offensively and defensively here in the early going. 10-2. Here comes Hilton Hines as she wears the white jersey with a black numeral. Bushbaum swings from the left side, and the left-hander has this one down. Waldron assists, and Marina Bushbaum. Couple of swings so far, both of them looking pretty strong. Governors could use more of that, looking for service points as Keys puts it in play. Here's another tap over the defense. Hart got there, but couldn't get it up in the air enough. And Fitzer will score another tap kill. The Governors, to be quite honest, you should be able to handle taps. Well, if you get caught off guard a couple of times, no problem. You make an adjustment, but they just haven't been able to do that enough as of yet. And a new server is in for Huron. I believe it's Ava Wambach, who will get the return, set it up into the air for Gergen to run it down, and the swinging kill is good for Addison Knight, who rotates up front now. And that is her first swing of the evening. Service point for the Tigers, and it's 12, serving 3. Wambach again from right to left. This one low, stays in the net. And the Governors will get side out back. Still looking for that rally. Substitutions bringing Novotny out. Sierra Prunty will check in for the first time tonight to serve. 5'5" and a junior for the Governors. Alyssa Lowe is back in up front, along with Schleckaway and Bushbaum. For Pierre, Hines returns back to the net. No play out of there for the Tigers. This will be a service ace for Sierra Prunty. First of the night for the Governors. Well, something like that can certainly help to change momentum. I'm not going to say momentum has been changed to this point. Pierce still down 12-5. Prunty ties. She tries to lob one over to the right side, near side, but that one will not make it across. So First ace of the night, followed by the first error of the night in serve for the Govs. 13-5, Huron. Grundy comes back out, replaced by Novotny, who is then replaced by libero Hadley Hart. And here is Addie Knight to serve. Covered up by Schleckaway, who gets it up to the front row. Waldron leaves it with Alyssa Lowe, but she got dug out. Now it's back to Pierre, and Schleckaway let it go a little too far down. Misses this one into the net. Bit of an unforced error for the Governors. 14-5, Tigers. Addie Knight again, the 6-footer across. Played by Lola Keenholz, who's in the back row. Down the line and just missed by Schleckaway. Schleckaway getting some swings up front, but off to a rough start, as are all the Governors, who trail by 10, 15-5. Here's Keenholz to make another play. Stays in the back row. Free ball back on the return for the Governors. Huron in system. They get Allie Davis up there. But the Govs cover that up. Now Lowe takes a swing. Huron equally as good. Second touch comes over from Gergen. Huron always adept at that. Here's a tap kill over the defense. This time good for Alexis Schleckaway. 15-6. Governors was side out after 3 in a row scored by Huron. Keep in mind the Tigers scored the first 8 points of this opening set. Molly Olsen in to serve. Here still with a hill to climb. Olsen lunges, gets a one-hand dig to deny Davis. Now Schleckaway back across, tried the cross quarter. Hadley Hart with a dig attempt, no good. And Davis across the court, good for her third kill. 16-6, well placed. Governors getting to some digs, but they're not getting enough air time on them, and maybe that's another thing they'll talk about in this Agtegra timeout as they call their second and final break in the action here in this first set. 16-6, it's the Tigers. We'll be back with more Governor Volleyball in 30 seconds here on KGFX.
We're passionate. Your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
John back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Back at ringside. Brian Oakland with a play-by-play here. 16-6, all Huron Tigers so far. The Governors still trying to get things righted on their side of the net. The Tigers will have the serve. Timeouts brought to you by Agtegra. Remember, acres ahead can maximize your farm's earning potential straight from the start. Contact your local Agtegra cooperative today. Huron sending a server in, Kaya Cheddar, 5'7" junior, but her first efforts of the night goes long. Chloe Carr back in, but replaced by Hilton Hines. So the Govs get the serve back quickly, and they'll try to climb that hill again. Serve coming right back to the net, but Alyssa Lowe had an opportunity. It's dug right back off the floor. Huron always good at that, and we've got a lift called on Olsen as she tries to save it from going to the net. This time the Governor returned just a little too tight. And one and done this time for the Govs. 17-7. Jency Gergen, who started with an 8-point rally, back in serve here. Keys is blocked again. Here returns. Huron able to get in system, but too much on the swing this time, and a rare miss by Allie Davis. Josh Lean talking about errors that have been somewhat frequent, but we haven't seen Huron making too many mistakes so far here in this second set. That's only their second. Now 17-8, Tigers lead as Hadley Hart serves away for the Governors. Free ball on the return, so Hart passes up to Olsen. They'll keep it in the middle, but Novotny mistimes this one. Doesn't get on top of it. Hits the home run. Too long and too strong. And right back it goes once again to Huron to serve. Davis's turn. Right to left. Played up by Waldron, hoping to get it back, but it's a power tap out of the middle by Allie Keys. Pierre hasn't got much offensively. In fact, I've only got them with 3 kills so far. Keys continues to get blocked. This Huron front line in the tandem of Arian Fitzer and Jaylee Olson, they have Allie Keys figured out. That's a third time, in fact, that they have blocked her for a point. 3 ace blocks there, and now a service ace on a misplay by the Govs, and this one goes to Davis, and Huron leads by 12. They've scored 3 in a row again, 20-8. Davis again. That's a cross. Hart with a good play this time. Good pass up to Olson. Here is Keys from the middle as the Governors try to give a different look. Now the Governors get a block touch. Back in system. Hopefully, well, another tap. Keys had to backhand at the set. Too close. And there is Fitzer again. I've got Olson with 2 blocks. Now Fitzer with 2 blocks. 4 block points for the Tigers here in this opening set. 21-8. It's all Huron. Waldron will take a swat from the right side. Huron in the net. Good diving dig attempt by Jency Gergen, but the Tigers are ruled in the net. 2 of their 3 errors are net violations, and that's about the only thing that's really been stopping Huron's offense and their scoring rallies. 21-9. Waldron to serve for the Governors. Left to right. Got a hot shot right off the net. Somehow Hilton Hines able to make a play on it. Addie Knight swings. Oh, appears into the net. Bit of a delayed call, but nonetheless, error number 6 for the Govs. Good swing for Knight, but Governor defense coming around a little bit in the back row. Dig or die mentality. That's what the Governors have been trying to live off of here. And a phrase that was coined last year. Now miscommunication in the back row leads to another mishit as Hart keeps it low and in the net. All Huron 23-9 here first set. But you still have more volleyball to go, even if this one seems inevitable. Hines to the middle. Hart, the pass run down by Waldron and then cleared out by Bushbaum. Now a 2-hand push to the back corner. Schleck away, and then a great hustle by Hadley Hart. Pierre able to free ball it back. Here come the Tigers again. Knight with the swing. Governors are in the net. Pierre couldn't make a play on it anyway. We'll give Addie Knight the kill. Her second of the night. Huron up by 15, and they've got set point here, 24-9. And Hilton Hines with her 4th serve in this rally. Line drive this time. Played up front, bump pass to Bushbaum from Waldron. The dig is back, and then Keys pushes it back. Maybe gives Huron a little bit of a break rather than setting something up. But Pierre didn't get it. They get it softly back. Now back row shot from Schleck away. That's dug out. And to the campfire it goes with Arian Fitzer, and it's too easy for the Huron Tigers. The kill to finish game number 1. We're on the Wagner Auto scoreboard. It is all Tigers, 25-9, as they manhandle the Pierre Governors. First game in the books. The scoreboard brought to you by Wagner Auto Company in Pierre, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer. A whole bunch of years, 118 years and going strong. That's the Wagner Auto scoreboard. Let's pause for 2 minutes. We'll come back. Game 2 is next here on 1060 KGFX and drgnews.com.
Is your neighborhood electrical service contractor, and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technologies such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Each day brings the opportunity to make a difference, to follow through with integrity, to solve challenges through innovative thinking, and to bring the technical know-how needed to get the job done. At Wilbur Ellis, this is how we work, standing side by side as local experts who partner with the stewards of the land. We do it together. That's the power of we.
Protect what matters most with the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, American Family Insurance. Our personalized insurance solutions ensure you're covered, no matter what life throws your way. From home and auto to farm, commercial, and life, we tailor policies to fit your unique needs. With our dedicated team and exceptional service, you'll have peace of mind knowing you're in good hands. Contact the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC.
Best of luck in today's competition to the Pierre Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy, your local agronomy experts. Black Sheep Agronomy wants you to have a successful farm plan, and they're focused on products and practices that work in this region. As community members themselves, Tyler, Tice, and Austin support area students who work hard in their school and extracurricular activities. Good luck, Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy. Call 842-6104 for all your agronomy needs.
Stay in a beautiful.
Back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
To sing about for the Pierre Governors, they get out-killed 10-3, but commit 7 errors, yield 3 service aces, and 4 block points to the Huron Tigers, and it is all Tigers, 25-9. Tigers scored the first 8 points in that first set, and things that were looking good on Saturday afternoon here at the gym against the top team in the state so far. Going to have to be cleaned up as far as the Governors go, but they will have the first serve here in the second set. And once again, glad to have you aboard. Governors Soccer girls with a victory over Mitchell in the first round of the postseason this afternoon at the PILC soccer fields, 5-1. They'll play Watertown coming up on Saturday. So we've got volleyball also on Saturday when the Govs go to Lenox in the afternoon, most likely here on KGFX. Of course, we've got Governor football coming up on Friday night. They'll be back home at Hollister Field entertaining the Sturgis Scoopers. We'll be on the air on River 92.7 at 6:25. Looking forward to that one. And we hope you can join us. Governors get the serve back, but they free ball it back to the Tigers. Starting game 2. Here's a hot shot left side, near side, and the Tigers working it in system with Allie Davis. First kill is across, and the Tigers will start off quickly. Abby Wambach started in rotation there, now replaced up front by Arian Fitzer. And miscommunication between Keys and Hart, leading to an ace for Jency Gergen, who has 3 so far. 2-0 to start here. Diggin' Pink tonight, showing support for breast cancer awareness here in the month of October. Traditionally, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the Governors get a second touch too close to the net, and they're not able to make a play. Kerry Wheelhouse will try to direct a little more traffic here. 3-0, an error on the return by the Govs. Second set. Sub-varsity players behind the Governor bench trying to get things fired up a little bit. There's Keys, the first time she really didn't get completely blocked. And then a hit by Fitzer from the right side, out of the reach of Schleckaway, who got a hand on it, but Governors couldn't get a second touch on it. Now it's 4-0. So once again, Jency Gergen just across the net. Hadley Hart dives. Good pass to put it back in play by Waldron, but low is dug up. Here with a block touch up front. Now Olsen will leave it for Keys. That's over the block, but Gergen is there to make a play. Now a swing too long. Hard hit by Fitzer, the freshman, but this one goes too long. Huron's first error. The Governors score their first point of set number 2. Huron with 8 in a row in the first game. They start the second one with 4 straight. Hadley Hart serves first, or next, for the Governors. She'll get it back on the return. Back set out, goes to Waldron. There's a touch on this one. And Sloan Waldron will swing and score from the right side. Governor's first kill of game 2. They get a service point. Hart will serve again. Hadley packs quite a punch. She'll go middle back where Hilton Hines is right there. Usually a pretty good passer. Got a good one up to Gergen, but Huron pulls the string. Now Waldron left side. No, that's Allie Keys. And Allie avoids the block this time as well. And she shoots. She scores her first kill Governors have 5 kills on the night, from 5 different players, 1 each. Back within 1. Now they'll tie it up as Allie Davis taps it too strong. Half-hearted swing, but she hit it upward and then outward. Now 4-4 after Huron started 4-0. Game number 2. Hart back to Hines, quickly up to the rafters, down quickly, and Huron able to still make a play. Addie Knight bumps it back on a free ball. No, it is Novotny off the block and down. Power tap from Addie Novotny. And the Governors starting to finally get some semblance of what we saw on Saturday. In 2 of 3 sets at least, when they played very well against a highly touted Brandon Valley squad. Hart this time, though, stays in the net with the serve. And thus it'll go back to Huron at 5-5. That was 5 in a row, though, scored by the Govs. We'll try to get it back, but this serve goes back to the net. Knight tried to put it away with a tap. No avail, though. Governors cleared it back. Now a right side swing for Fitzer. The Governors get a block touch on it. They'll cover it up. Waldron, cross court. Great diving dig for Gergen. Now Hart trying to put it up into the air. Schleckaway runs it down. Olsen able to get it across. Not pretty, but the Governors live to fight another opportunity, but that is short-lived. As the Tigers then get in system off of the free ball, and Addie Knight will put this one away. Kill number 3 for the 5'8 junior. Huron back in front, second set, 6-5. Govs let it go, and it does sail a little bit long. And that was Davis, I believe, serving. So it'll be 6-6. Waldron to serve for the Governors. Tough play, but it's up into the air from Knight, and they'll get it over to Fitzer, and once again, it's over the block. Here with a 2-headed block on the left side. Fitzer gets it down with a tap in front of Hadley Hart. Huron will serve again. Hilton Hines' turn. Goes cross court to the near side. Played by Keys. Bushbaum takes a swing. And another diving dig by Gergen. Here is Keys taking a free ball. Schleckaway will swing from the back row. Hines up to Gergen. Another tap in the middle. That time by Chloe Carr. Here returns the favor. Here comes Addie Knight. There's Hart to dig it high up into the air. Close to the ladder. Good keep alive by Waldron. Power tap by Novotny. And Huron is not able to make a play here. Oh, they get that across, and we're still playing on. I had the angle on that one, and that one looked like it was wide of the antenna. No matter. The Governors will get Allie Keys a good swing through the block and down. Almost a tough break there for Pierre, but they made their own breaks instead. And they've got side out back at 7-7. Cross-court effort here from the right side. Good dig by Waldron. Pierre got it back on second touch. Carr takes a swing, but that's blocked right back. Now Hines will set up Knight. Too much on that one for Addie Knight, for Hadley Hart to handle, and Addie Knight will pick up kill number 4, her second in this early going of set number 2. Fitzer in the rotation will check out. Abel Wambach, the 5'4 junior, is in to serve. That's really the only substitution that Josh Lean will make is Fitzer for Wambach. Wambach serves too long. Pierre has the serve back in an 8-all tie. Otherwise, Gergen, Carr, Knight, Davis, Jaylee Olsen, they pretty much will play all rotation around. Meanwhile, the Governors sub out Addie Novotny, and they'll bring in Sierra Prunty, the 5'5 junior. Sierra to serve, collected an ace in the first set. They won it only for the Govs so far. Back on the 10-foot line, here's Knight, and the Governors, even with the Huron hitter off the net, Pierre grazes the net themselves, and that'll be an error to give it back to the Tigers. So Prunty out, Novotny in, Novotny out, Hadley Hart, the libero, back in. We say libero, some say libero, some shorten it to lib, which I do sometimes. Josh Lean even called her the bro, Hilton Hines, when he was giving me his starting lineup earlier today. Libro, if you will. 9-8. Huron with a nice return, by the way. Now Schleckaway 11 feet off the net, cannot get it across. Govs are continuing to have their struggles, even though they're still keeping pace somewhat here in this second set. They trail 10-8. Addie Knight will serve it again. Laid up in the air from Keenholz. In the middle back. There's a big swing for Bushbaum. That one may not have cleared the net. Otherwise, Ryan Munson said Allie Davis gets the block point. We'll give Allie Davis the ace block. 3 in a row for the Tigers now. Govs have to be careful. There's an ace as Keenholz comes up to dive to try to keep the Knight lob off the floor, but just a little bit late. Addie Knight well placed. 2 aces in this set. 5 in the match for the Tigers. 12-8 Tigers. Sometimes I like to call them that. Here's Lowe taking a swing. That's kept alive by Carr. Off of a good block. Knight up in the air and again pulls the string. Little palm hit down in the campfire. Allie Davis. I may have said Knight, but that's Allie Davis. It is Knight continuing to serve on a 5-0 rally right now. Hart with a play up this time to Waldron on the roll shot there. Schleck away. Got it across. Huron in the net this time as Gergen had to push it away but can't keep her momentum out of the twine. And finally, after 5 in a row, that Huron error will bring that rally to an end. 9 serving 13. Molly Olson will check back in. Bushbaum is out. Olson left to right for the Govs in white. Davis, power tab of the one-hander. Olson is there, up to Waldron, across the way. Schleck away, off the net, over the block, and down. Schleck away's second of the night. 10-13. Olson again. This one goes deep, and it's just an inch or two too long, according to Tara Miller. I think a good call there. Second service error in the game. 3rd overall for the Govs tonight. 14-10. Huron will lead. Kaya Cheddar serves it up. Stays in the back row. And Hart kind of got in the way of the setter, but ended up putting it across. Huron taps it back. Now Pierre free balls the return again. Gergen will leave it for Davis. Half-hearted punch, but that's a cross. Here's Schleck away again. Cheddar with a dig in the back row. Now it's Davis, but that one low, and it stays in the net. Governors will get the point. Side out back to Pierre, 11 serving 14. Pierre will get the firepower, and Allie Keys back up front. As Lola Keenholz checks out. Lola's brother Lincoln, by the way, scored a touchdown in garbage time for the Ohio State Buckeyes. There's the service ace for Schleckaway. If you missed it, Lincoln Keenholz with a quarterback sneak touchdown as Ohio State beat the Minnesota Golden Gophers on Saturday, 42-3. Got to hand it to their first rounder, though, even though I still think Lincoln should be the first round or the lead quarterback for Ohio State. But Julian saying he had outstanding stats for the Buckeyes. So you tip your hat. In this case, Huron with another miss. Davis too low and in the net. The Governors are back within 1 after being down 14-10. It's 13-14. Swing out by Jaylee Olson. Second touch is over, but Waldron hit it right to somebody. They turned it back. Governors return the favor. Now Davis up in system. Governors with a good block touch up front. Schleckaway up front to Olson. Back set Waldron near side down the line, and it's good. Sloan Waldron with a hot shot. Good for the ace, or the single, the winner, if you will. That's what we're trying to say. Schleckaway comes again. It's 14-14. Here with 4 in a row, their longest service rally of the night. Davis, not much on it. Waldron will leave it in the middle and out of the reach of the diving Hilton Hines. That's a kill for Alyssa Lowe. And the Governors have found life again here in this second set. 15-14, their second 5-point rally in this second game. Knight with a play up of the serve. Gergen keeps it out of the net. Hilton Hines clears it. Lowe will try again, but that's blocked, and it comes back out of the reach of Schleckaway diving in the back row. Jaylee Olson gets her third ace block. Huron with their 6th overall. It is the defense up front that has really kept this match in Huron's favor. We've got a 15-15 tie, second set, but of course Huron dominated set one, 25-9. Governors back in rhythm here, and Waldron will touch one across through the block and down to the middle. Sloan Waldron with three all in this game. 16-15, and comes back to the Governors. Here would certainly love to have this second set. Hart will hit a home run and serve, unfortunately, and they'll lose this service rally. We have another volleyball game going on 94.5 KPLO. Unfortunately, the matchup escapes me at this time. We'll get that to you in just a little bit. Addie Knight with a shot. Governors defend it. There's Molly Olson with the two-hand push. She goes back left corner. Hines can't get to it. Molly Olson with a good vision set kill. And the Governors will try to use that to build some more momentum into another service rally. 17-16. Sloan Waldron too short on the serve. That's four misses in serve now for the Govs in this set. Otherwise, things might be a little more of a cushion as far as Pierre is concerned. Jaylee Olson comes out, but Hilton Hines is back in. Here's Novotny taking a swing. That's touched up front. Now it's Knight again. Schleck away there. Right up to Bushbaum. She wanted to hammer it, but Addie Knight saw it coming. Ace block for Addison Knight, the 5'8 junior. Haley Hansen, always somebody I can count on. It's Sully Butts and Highmore, the matchup in Class B on 94.5 KPLO. Bushbaum runs one down, punches it across. Huron comes right back, and it is Arian Pitzer, the freshman, putting one away. Now suddenly the Tigers with three in a row, and they lead 19-17 as we get into the waning points of game number 2. Tigers trying to go up 2 sets. Governors trying to fight back and even this thing up. Here's a swing for Allie Keys, right side. She's been blocked well by the Tigers when she swings from the left side. Free ball back to Pierre. Power tap. The one-hander. It's good for Novotny. Novotny will collect the serve back for the Governors. It'll be Keys' turn. After a 3-point rally by the Tigers, they still lead by 1, but it's 18 serving 19. Govs send it away. Davis plays it up. Chloe Carr taps. Hadley Hart with a dive, but closer to the scorer's table. The ball will go, and Schleckaway had to hurdle over the top of Hart, who had dove for the loose ball. Chloe Carr with a tap kill. That's her first of the night. Athletic family, the Carrs and Huron. 18 serving 20 serving 18. Bushbaum crushes one, but over the top of everyone. Pierre asking for a tap, and they say there was one. Huron with a fingertip on it. Marina Bushbaum fortunate to get this one. Second of the night for Myrna. That's a big point for the Governors. It holds Huron to a one and done. Apparently no argument from the Huron bench. 19 serving 20. And Prunty is on for Novotny to serve. Second touch over by Gergen. Keenels covers it up, and we've got a point. Illegal touch by the Governors as they pushed it across. I actually didn't see what happened. Might have been maybe an illegal back row attack or something of that effect. 21-19, Tigers get the rally point. And now they get an ace from Addison Knight as Keenels dives and could not keep it in play. Second ace for Knight in the game. 22-19. Governors call their first timeout of game 2. Timeouts brought to you by Agtegra, reminding farmers acres ahead can maximize your farm's earning potential straight from the start. Contact Agtegra, your local cooperative today. Govs down by 3. Huron with 3 to go to claim a two-set lead. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Pierre Governor Volleyball.
Vacation home, the Summit on Dancing Sky near Leeds, South Dakota in the popular Powder House Pass development. It's a modern rustic design with over 5,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms and 5 baths for you to enjoy. You'll get gorgeous views of the Terry Peak Mountain Range. There's a community pool to enjoy, and you're close to all the attractions like Deadwood, Sturgis, Spearfish, and a whole lot more. The Summit on Dancing Sky. Visit them at DancingSky.com.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box.
Back at Ringside Gym, Governor Volleyball going on here. Hey, we want to congratulate Pierre tennis player Amara Dell, the 5th flight singles champion, the state girls tennis tournament for Class A, taking place yesterday and today in Sioux Falls. Amara Dell leading the Governors to a 6th place finish, middle of the pack in that one. But the Governors with a singles champion once again, Amara Dell, who won the 5th flight. There were a few 3rd place finishers in singles and doubles combined. We'll tell Justin Cowart to get all the details up on drgnews.com and our DRG Media Group stations tomorrow. State golf tournament was played at Meadowbrook out in Rapid City. The best finisher for Pierre was Tate Stoser, who tied for 59th place, I believe it was. Out of that timeout, and sometimes momentum killers, not the case this time. Addie Knight gets another ace. And Huron leads the second game 23-19.
23-19! We have a 23-19!
Thank you, Haley Hansen. On that Monsters Inc. dire scenario. And it gets even more dire here as the Governors will miss a return hit back into the net. It was 20-19, but it's now game point for Addie Knight and the Huron Tigers. Second set. Keenholz played it up. Bushbaum power punches one away. Allie Davis, the final say in game number 2, and the Tigers with a 5-point rally to close out the second set. Davis with her 3rd of the game, 6th of the night. And the Wagner Auto scoreboard has Huron winning this one 25-19. They're up 2 sets to none. Scoreboard brought to you by Wagner Auto Company and Pierre, the one place to go. We're at halftime of our broadcast. 2 down, 1 to go for the visitors. Halftime and KGFX broadcast brought to you by CHS River Plains, serving cities throughout central South Dakota. We'll hear from them and take a 2-minute timeout. We'll go to game number 3. Governor Volleyball is on your official voice of the Pierre Governors, KGFX and DRGnews.com.
At First Dakota,
agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
At Dakota Behavioral Health, we offer comprehensive mental health services, including medication management. With offices in Pierre and Winter, we provide in-person and telehealth appointments to fit your schedule. Whether you're managing anxiety, depression, stress, or other concerns, our compassionate team is here to help. We are currently accepting new clients, so take the first step toward better mental health today. Call Dakota Behavioral Health at 605-702-6769 or visit dakotabh.com to schedule your appointment.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Explore the 2023 Lincoln Navigator at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Every time you approach your Lincoln, you'll receive a re-carpet welcome. Twin turbocharged 3.5 V6 engine with auto start-stop technology, you'll travel confidently with technology that meets all your needs. Now you can get the 2023 Navigator for 5.9% at 72 months. Stop in to see the full vehicle lineup at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Capital City Ford in Pierre, South Dakota.
Futures aren't
Back
made
to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
CHS River Plains once again sponsors halftime in KGFX Sports broadcasts. 2 down, 1 to go once again for the Huron Tigers. Huron, again, doesn't have the record, but 4-9. They've played some pretty good teams pretty well so far this season, and well, they had to be the favored team still coming in here, even though the Governors had some confidence off of playing well against Brandon Valley on Saturday. But it started slow for Pierre. They played much better in that second game. But Huron again with a 5-point run to close out that second set. Addie Knight in serve. A couple of aces included 25-19. The Tigers up 2-0 as we get the first serve in from Jency Gergen, and the Tigers in pink tonight. Dig in pink will help the Governor cause breast cancer awareness as well. First swing by the Govs, good. The second one pretty good from Waldron, but Huron defends and defends again. Now Allie Keys swings left side, but there is Hilton Hines. Big swing up right side through the block, and that is down, and the kill is good to start game 3 for the freshman, Arian Fitzer. 5'9" freshman. Governor student body, a lot of guys out there, football players. It's funny how sometimes the only pink things they own are bathrobes. A lot of them come out here and dressed in bathrobes. Hadley Hart unable to make a play. Some movement on that serve. Nicely done by Jency Gergen, the 5'8" senior. To be honest, I think from last year to this year, I'm seeing a lot of improvement from this senior setter for the Tigers. Gergen, right to left, lobs it across. Sliding save by Alexei Schleckaway. Keys is blocked, but this time it's defendable or playable for the Govs. Allie pulls the string this time, but Davis covers it up off the floor. Fitzer clears with feet on the floor. Now Schleckaway for the Govs to Molly Olson. Swing for low is covered off of the block by the Tigers. Now another one. Oh, somehow the Governors keep it alive. Huron's going to want to lift on this one, but that is pushed home by Molly Olson. There was a reflex play by the Governors, and I thought Alyssa Lowe, well, she had one, but obviously the only thing that keeps that from being a lift as it went up into the air had to be closed fists, hands. If that hand is open and you lift it up, it's going to be a lift, but it wasn't called. Huron probably wondering why, but we play on. Govs with a couple of good swings, but there's a well-placed free ball out of the middle by Jaylee Olson, who will pick up her third kill. Huron had the first two. The Govs got a side out. Now the Tigers will serve again, 3-1. Allie Davis, who's played well tonight, back to Hadley Hart up the middle back. And disarray and not in system. Olsen tried to get one to Waldron, who wanted to hit as much as she could, but tried to adjust and not enough. It stays in the net, 4-1 Tigers. And that one will sail from Davis, long and strong, out of bounds. Second miss in serve for Allie, only the fifth of the night for Huron. Two serving for Governors. Need a set here where they just get back in here and play well. They could really use a set victory, but they're not going to get a point here as Waldron stays short and in the net. It just hasn't been Pierre's night. Second set, much better than the first, but when Huron scored the first 8 points of the night in set one, seems like it has somewhat set the stage for what was to come for the Governors. There's Carr through the block and down from the middle. Huron doesn't ask Chloe Carr to swing a lot, but they put it in her area, and she put one off of the edge of the block. Down for another Tiger point. They lead 6-2. Hilton Hines continues in serve. Keys plays this one up, and Pierre can't get 3 hits and a cross. Serve return error this time. Cubs might need a quick timeout here if this continues. It's 7-2. Huron scored 4 in a row. Now they got 3 in a row again. Hines with a hot shot. Hart up into the air, goes the wrong way, but Schleckaway had enough room to run it down. Marina Bushbaum clears, but it is out of bounds on the far side, and more trouble in serve return. Haven't really touched on it, but I do believe serve return has been the one thing that has plagued the Governors more than anything tonight. Hines again. Keys with a set return to Waldron. Outside Bushbaum. The Governors get it right back. Hart up front, and Huron will touch the net. Chloe Carr, the guilty party. First error of the set for the Tigers. In the second 4-point rally for Huron in this game comes to an end. Pierre will send back Keys to serve. Huron with a bit of an ugly return, but they do get it across. They can defend. Here comes Bushbaum. Power tap down the line, near side. It's good. Marina Bushbaum with her third kill, one in each set. Service point for the Governors as Keys will continue to serve. Allie's been quiet up front, but that's all due to the defense right in front of her across the net by the Tigers. Here's Fitzer as she swats one to the near side, and that's just inbounds. Arian Fitzer, 5'9" freshman, good-looking player. She's been scoring 8 kills so far in this match. 9-4 as she'll check out. Ava Wambach into serve, that one low, and it stays on the Huron side. So it's back to Pierre again after a one and done. And as Keys comes out, Lola Keenholz is in, but now Sierra Prunty will rotate into serve as well. In for Novotny. And the second touch over. Lowe gets one across again. Josh Lean asking for a lift. And I think he's got a beef on that one. That one looked like it was even controlled by Alyssa Lowe to redirect across. But Bushbaum hits this one long, and Huron gets the point that they probably should have had anyway. Just one in serve for Pierre this time. 10-5. Addie Knight, who closed that second set with 5 in a row, serves it up again. Schleckaway out to Bushbaum on the set by Waldron out to the near side. It's good to see Bushbaum swinging well tonight. She takes over the team lead with 4 kills. 10-6 now. Huron leads in a lob served by Molly Olsen. Good for an ace. Third of the night for Pierre. They have a single ace in each of 3 sets to this point. Trailing by 3, 7 serving 10. Molly up the middle back again from the right side of the service line. Allie Davis, though, comes right back and scores. Good set there by Jency Gergen. And Davis with a hot shot, her 7th kill of the evening. Pierre settles for just a couple that time. They trail 11-7. Kaya Cheddar rotates in off the bench to serve. Schleckaway takes a shot here from the right side, but that one just misses. I like the angle there. But Schleck just didn't get up into the air high enough. And you have to avoid the net. That just kind of contributed to a hit that goes too long. Govs were in system, but Lowe doesn't take a swing. Now Gergen with a rare miss sets it up too high for Davis, who was looking for maybe a line drive set. Didn't get it. Huron will return the favor, and error for error. And it's 12-8. Schleckaway back to serve. Here trailing by 4. They need this third set. And another tap kill, this time for Jaylee Olsen. Well, Huron's got the swingers in Allie Davis and Addison Knight, but they get the tippers in Fitzer and Olsen. Fitzer has some swinging kills this evening, but Huron's tap game has been almost perfect, it seems. Gergen back to serve, 13-8. Keys, big shot this time, and Gergen can't handle it. Allie Keys will score. Bump set spike this time for the Governors. Another side out coming back. Hadley Hart's turn to serve. Pierce still hoping for one of those big service runs. Hines plays the Hart serve. Back. Here's Davis, who comes in over the top of Jaylee Olsen. Olsen was staying on the floor. Davis jumped right up over the top to take the attack, but Stays low and into the net. 4 errors for the Tigers. There's a play up by Knight that stays in the back row, but now back up to the 10-foot line, and Davis. Top spin down to the 10-foot line of the Governors, and Allie Davis finds another way to score. Kill number 8. 2 and done for the Governors. It's 14-10 Tigers. Serving is Davis. Working it back up to the net for the Govs. Tapped out. Push coming back. Schleckaway had to run it down. Bumped up by Olsen to the net. And a nice pass to Keys, but Hilton Hines with another dig. Now the Governors defend well. Olsen cleared out by Waldron. Here's Olsen tapping again off of the Waldron block, and that one goes to the near side from there. The ricochet down with a kill, and Jaylee Olsen with 3 kills in the set, 5 in the match. Pierre trailing by 5. Huron with 10 to go, looking for a 3-game sweep. There's Novotny taking a swing left side. Addie Knight digs it. Addie Knight comes right back, takes the pass, thinks there's a fingertip touch. Tigers won't get it, though. Knight will miss it a little bit long. I love the movement from Addie Knight on that play, though. Good hitters. They're so good at getting back in position, especially when they get that first touch. Knight wanted another one, but this one stays on the far side, and now it's a miss. Wide of the pin on the scorer's table side. Far side if you're watching, drgnews.com. 6th error for the Tigers in this set. They're the most that they've had in any of the 3 sets so far. 15-11. This is Waldron. Good pass right up to Gergen. She didn't even need to move. Back set out, right side. Fitzer scores. Then Huron will take it right back. 16-12. Hilton Hines right to left for the white jersey. That one sails, but Keys makes a play. Bush bomb, long run. Able to get it across, though. Now from the back row, Davis tries, but that's short. Josh Lean talked about errors in our pregame conversation. He's got good hitters, awesome hitters, he even said, but errors do come sometimes more frequently than desired, and I think that's the case right now. Here's another one, missed by Fitzer. And Coach Lean may be close to taking his first time out of the night, but we continue as Pierre has a couple in a row. Back within 2, 14-16. Keys across, bit of a misplay, and it's an ace. Davis ranged over and slid to it. Now Josh Lean will take that timeout. An ace for Allie Keys. Here back within 1, 16-15. We're in the third. The Governors need this one, though. Take a timeout, 30 seconds. Timeout's brought to you by Agtegra and your local Agtegra Cooperative. We're back with more Pierre Governor Volleyball.
Tokyo Japanese cuisine.
They're dreamt, they're planned, they're discovered. At Northern State University, futures are the result of hard work and grit. NSU is an academic powerhouse with a spirit of exploration and genuine support, where professors know your name and push you to discover what you're truly capable of. But don't take our word for it. When you experience Northern, you'll see the difference here.
The best Western rack to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Rebroadcasting on K276 GT 103.1 FM Fort Pierce. Stay alive, don't text and drive.
Welcome back to Riggs High Gym. Past the 8 o'clock hour, 16-15. Huron controlled the first 2 sets. Governors trying to stay alive here in the third as they, again, work in come from behind mode. Brian Oakland, glad to have you aboard here this evening. Another full week of Governor sports coming your way. Huron does get bumps at Spike, and they will end the rally out of that Agtegra timeout. Agtegra reminding farmers that acres ahead can maximize your farm's earning potential straight from the start. Contact your Agtegra cooperative today. Arian Fitzer with the kill to get it back to Huron in a 17-15 advantage. Pierre's return back over. Well played out of the net, but Huron able to get in somewhat of system, but they do tap it back. Now Schleckaway, not much on it. Effective nonetheless, as Addie Knight couldn't get to it quick enough, at least to put it up into the air. And Schleckaway's third kill of the evening. Here to serve again, 16 serving 17. This is Sierra Prunty, who's been serving for Addie Novotny tonight. Sierra, middle back, played up by Hines to Gergen. On the move, Chloe Carr. First time we've seen the slide play employed. The Governors defend it well. Nice reaching dig for Davis, keeping it alive. Now it's Bushbaum for Pierre. Waldron out left side, Schleckaway. Not much on that one. Here's Addie Knight with an opportunity. Mistimed the jump, though. Had to tap it back. Schleckaway again. Returns the tap. Played first by Gergen, then there's Hines. Back out it goes to Addie Knight, but she'll hook it out of bounds. Well played point on both sides. But 17-17, our score. The Governors have clawed back to a tie. They've been down by as many as 5 at 13-8 in this set. And they'll give one back as somebody rattled the net. That'll be a net violation. So it'll be the point to the Tigers, and 18-17 our score. Back to serve goes Addie Knight. Up front, good block of Alyssa Lowe. And a good attack. Chloe Carr kept it alive. Now Davis clears back to the back. Keenholz with the first touch. Governors up. Schleckaway defended, and as Keenholz dives, can't get to it this time. Allie Davis, will score another. Make it 19-17. And again, there's Addie Knight back to serve. She had a big rally to close out the second set. Governors free ball this one. Davis scores on the back end line. Hot shot, fast-paced offense for the Tigers that time. And it seems for now all of the errors that Huron has kind of dug themselves into a bit of a hole with in the third set are staying away as they build a 3-point lead with 5 to go to a 3-set sweep. Schleckaway off the 10-foot line, defended. Davis continuing to get better and better. A hot hitter right now, her 5th kill of this set, and the Tigers lead 21-17, a 4-point lead with 4 points to go. Final timeout called by the Governors here in set number 3, brought to you by Agtegra and your local Agtegra Cooperative. 30 seconds, and we'll be back with more Pierre Governor Volleyball.
For reliable,
Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota. Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Well, it is definitely go time for the Pierre Governors. Welcome back to Riggs High Gym. Govs down 4. And Huron 4 points away from that 3-set sweep. First of 2 meetings between these two teams will be at the Huron Arena 2 weeks from tonight. Schedule not easy for the Governors coming up. They've got unbeaten Class A Lennox on Saturday, and then they welcome in the top-ranked team in South Dakota and the three-time defending champion Harrisburg Tigers 1 week from tonight. Back at it, though, the Govs get a much-needed point. Marina Bushbaum with a swinging kill on the run. Pierre with the serve back. Trailing 21-18, put in play by Molly Olson, and Olson off of the block had it ricochet away from her. And Davis, again, just getting better and better as a hitter here. She came into this third set with 6 kills, and she's completely doubled that. I've got her with 12. They've got her with 10 on the board. Kaya Cheddar on to serve. That one might have gone long, but I think when in doubt, if you're Hadley Hart, you got to play it. She did. Pierre was able to get it back. Here comes Davis again. Tapped, blocked, and a block point for the Governors. Their first of the night. Alyssa Lowe able to deny Davis, and at least for now, keep her at bay, as, again, has been a hot hitter. Surprised Allie didn't take a full swing. She's been in such a groove. Substitutions, Cheddar and Carr are out for Huron. Davis plays up to serve. There's Jaylee Olson back in, one of the subs back in up front. Allie Keys punches it back. Davis waiting to get it right back, and she'll score again. Schleckaway couldn't get to it. 7 in the set for Davis, and it's 23-19.
23-19!
I know.
23-19!
Another dire situation for the Governors. This in the third game as they try to stave off a 3-game sweep. Tapped by Lowe at the net. Cleared away. Davis will punch it back. Schleckaway got there. No, the Governors are in the net. So when Allie Davis touches it, something good is going to happen for the Tigers. Pierre with their 6th error in the set. 24-19. It is match point for Huron. It's been all Tigers tonight. The Governors have scored points in the second and third sets, but just not enough. Huron's played very well. Hot shot. Nice dig here as the layout by Schleckaway. She got underneath it. Pierre pushes it back. Davis for the finish, and how about that? Fitting into the night by Allie Davis. The way she played this third set, I think she wants to play some more because 8 kills in the third set to get the clinching finish, but the way she's hitting, she could take on anybody for another full match, I'm sure. Good match for the Tigers. They'll finish off the victory on the Wegner Auto scoreboard. Tigers win the third 25-19. They win all 3 25-9, 25-19, 25-19 again. Tigers improved to 5-9 on the season. The Governors will drop their 10th match out of 12 on the season. Here again with Lennox coming up on the road on Saturday. We'll talk about upcoming action and all things that go along with it when we come back in our post game coming up. Scoreboard brought to you by Wegner Auto Company, South Dakota's oldest auto dealership, family owned from the beginning, and they are the one place to go. Postgame comes to us courtesy of Family Dental with offices in Pierre and Gettysburg, 3 minutes away, and we'll give you the full recap. We'll give you our Bauman Lumber player of the game. And again, looking at upcoming action, not only volleyball, but soccer, that is. Playoff soccer going on. We'll talk some football upcoming as well, all part of our Family Dental postgame, and that returns in 3 minutes here on your official voice of Governor Sports, KGFX, and DRGnews.com.
It's more than a livelihood. It's a legacy. Simplot was founded by a hardworking farmer like you over 90 years ago, and we've been growing America's farms for generations. With local crop advisors grounded in your success, Simplot Grower Solutions is in your fields and by your side. We dig in deep to pinpoint what you need, where you need it, when you need it, even when the forecast is unpredictable.
With our new online loan application, you can go to our website and apply for a loan when it's most convenient for you. We make getting loan approval fast and easy. Our local lenders are available to assist you if you have any questions. We make it pain-free to get that loan you've been wanting. We're an equal housing lender. Oahe Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union since 1955. Federally insured by NCUA.
This harvest season, make sure your John Deere Active Yield system is working for you. Active Yield measures and monitors your yield in real time, but accurate data starts with proper calibration. Save yourself the phone calls and downtime with these quick tips. Regularly check and clean sensors and components, and recalibrate when switching crops or after major maintenance. And if software issues pop up, Grossenberg Implement's Precision Ag Support Team is just a call away, 402-256-6303. They'll keep you running smoothly this harvest. From everyone at Grossenberg Implement, stay safe out there and have a great harvest.
What if we said a bank isn't a place to lock up money? It's a place to set it free. What if the point of banking wasn't to bank at all, but to put your ideas to work? What if your bank asked, what if, a little more? Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you're ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
When you're thinking of a new or used car, motorcycle, pickup, or RV, think of us. We make all sorts of vehicle loans. We can set you up with payments that fit your budget. So if you have getting some new wheels in mind, stop by and see us. We'll get you the right loan. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
At Ringneck
Back
Energy.
to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
25-19, 25-19. Brian Oakland with the play-by-play here. Glad to have you aboard, and Governors definitely looked a lot better in the second and the third sets, but just the way things started in this first game, Huron scores the first 8 points of game number one, and I don't know. It didn't happen in that first set when the Governors did finally maybe get their collective feet underneath of them, so to speak. But that didn't happen until that second game. And, sometimes, I'm going to say this is just my personal opinion, but sometimes when we have these dig pink nights and you're playing in colors other than green or black or white or something like that, I honestly believe, and I'm sure the players, they'll probably never admit it, coaches probably won't either, I do believe sometimes, as I've seen it for years in volleyball, I honestly believe that it is a bit of a distraction. The difference in colors, the color schemes, obviously the cause is great, breast cancer awareness, and there were some fundraising efforts going on, and I certainly think it needs to be done, but the colors, can be a little bit distracting. And in this case, it was the Huron Tigers who wore the pinks. Governors came out with pink sleeves. They really don't have, and Kerry Wheelhouse tells me this, and I know what the Govs have for pink jerseys. They're really not good jerseys, and they're somewhat old as well, but it's just better that Pierre came out with their home whites tonight, but I do like the pink sleeves. However, I do believe to some extent that the difference in color can be a bit distracting. And, again, I'm not trying to make an excuse, but the Governors certainly were not the Pierre team that we saw on Saturday when this match started coming out. And when Huron had the first 8 points as we go through this full recap. By the way, we welcome you once again to your Family Dental post-game. Family Dental with offices in Pierre and Gettysburg. Wasn't until Huron had an 8-0 lead, the Govs finally got a side out. That happened to be with a net violation by Huron, and Pierre just never got their feet underneath them. They made a couple of tried to make a couple of rallies, but could never really score more than 2 points at a time. Huron cruises 25-9, and they kept going with the first 4 of the second set. But finally, the Governors come to life. Hadley Hart in serve. They get 5 in a row to take a 5-4 lead. And we just kind of traded side outs back and forth and traded the lead a few times. It stayed even all the way up to 8-8. The Tigers get another 5 in a row, to go up 13-8. Pierre would claw back with 5 in a row to go up 15-14. And then we're tied at 15-16. Tied at 16 before the Tigers score 3 again to make it 19-17. The Governors never could get the lead back, but they're hanging right with them at 20-19. But then Addie Knight takes over the serve, pitches a couple of aces, and the Governors struggled with serve receive most of the night. And that the last 5 go to Knights and Huron, and it was 25-19. The win in the second. Huron up 2 sets. The third set continued with more. Huron starting off, and they ultimately built up an 8-2 lead with 4 in a row. Seemed like the Governors were going to be hard-pressed to come back, but they did start chipping away and once again got back within 1 all the way back at 16-15. They got back into a tie at 17 all before the Tigers scored another 4-point rally to make it 21-17. Govs didn't recover from that. From 22-19, Huron again ends the third set on a mini rally, 3 in a row to close it all out, 25-19, and they win it in 3. Tigers, again, I think a team that's a little bit better than their record would indicate. They're 4-9. Their power ranking was 14 coming in. Again, they're still going to be underdogs against most of the AA field once the Sodak 16 comes around, but all they really need to do is just minimize errors, and against teams that might be putting up a bit of a better block, maybe that's something that can get in their minds a bit. They did have a bit of a scuffle in that third set, 9 hitting errors overall, but still, Allie Davis in particular came to life with 8 kills in that third game to kind of be the stopper that the Tigers needed to ensure they walk out of here a straight set winner rather than having to move on and play a fourth game, which the Governors were obviously hoping for, but that was not to be the case. Take a look at the stats in this one as the Tigers will outscore Pierre in the kill column 35-20, led by Allie Davis with 14 kills overall, and again 8, the key number coming in that third set. Arian Fitzer, 5'9" freshman, swings well tonight and will score in double figures with 10 unofficially. Jaylee Olson with 5. Addie Knight kept in check with 4, but who knows? She might have the hot hand when these two teams meet again in 2 weeks over in the Fair City. Chloe Carr with 2 kills for the Tigers. For Pierre with 20 kills on the board, and they're put in by 8 different players, but obviously things are spread around. Marina Bushbaum will lead with 5 kills. She had 3 in the third set. She's the only Governor attacker with more than 1 kill in the third game. Alexa Schleckaway with 3 kills. Allie Keys was held to 3 kills tonight, and more on that in a moment. Molly Olson with 2. Addie Novotny with 2 kills and 1 kill from the back row for the libero Hadley Hart, and 1 kill up front for Alyssa Lowe. Governors with 20 overall. But defensively is where the tone was set by the Tigers. Early on, they had 4 block points in that first set, and it was the block against Allie Keys that was really the big play in this game. We don't have a big play sponsor, but it is something we touch on in Governor Broadcast. Big plays had to be the defense really setting the tone. If the Governors thought they could get any offense going in that first set, despite trailing 8-0 right off the bat, it just wasn't meant to be. Fitzer and Olson in particular staring mainly Allie Keys in the face, and Allie, who had some boom shots in the match against Brandon Valley on Saturday, couldn't get anything across, it seemed, in that first set, and that was because of the stiff defense across the net from her by the Tigers. In particular, once again, Arian Fitzer and Jaylee Olson. Huron with 7 block points overall, 4 in the first set. They get 3 in the second. Knight and Davis got 1 each. Jaylee Olson had a third one in there as well. Pierre with just 1 block point. That comes from Alyssa Lowe on the evening. And serving belonged to Huron as they get 8 service aces, 4 from Jency Gergen, 3 from Addie Knight, all of which I believe came in the last 5 points of that second set. And Allie Davis with an ace. 8 aces for the Tigers against 6 service errors. Governors also missing on 6 serves, but they do get 4 aces, single aces apiece for Molly Olson, Allie Keys, Lexi Schleckaway, and for Sierra Prunty. Governors commit 18 errors, averaging 6 per game. They go 7-5-6. Huron got a little bit muddy in the error department with 9 in the third set. They'll finish with 17 overall, going 3-5-9. All told, it is 25-9, 25-19, 25-19, a straight set victory for the Huron Tigers. We've got a player of the game to talk about. That's brought to you by Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. We'll go with the Tigers when we come back after you hear this. Let's take a 2-minute timeout, and we're back with our player of the game, and then we'll look at other things in the way of high school sports, including upcoming action as our coverage continues from the Family Dental postgame. This is Governor Volleyball.
Zander Auto Parts, the only locally owned auto parts store in the Fort Pierre area, has been serving Central South Dakota for over 40 years. They're a trusted name when it comes to automotive parts and supplies. Their knowledgeable staff is dedicated to assisting you in finding exactly what you need. Convenience is also a top priority. They're located at 500 Sioux Avenue, Zander Auto Parts. They support area youth in their activities. When you need auto parts or supplies, shop Zander Auto Parts, your auto value parts store.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we're in the business of improving lives. That means ditching the fees big banks charge, offering cash back to do more of what you love, and boosting convenience with extended service hours Monday through Saturday. Bank how you like, when you like, with local financial advice when you need it. Let's get started. Learn more at bhfcu.com. Stop by any BHFCU location or call us at 1-800-482-2428.
Thinking about upgrading your ride? Right now at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, score an auto loan with a rate as low as 4.45% APR. Applying is fast and simple. Just visit owyheefcu.coop today. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where we treat you like you own the place because you do. Rates are subject to change and based on creditworthiness.
People helping people. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
When you need building supplies, there's no need to go anywhere except to Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. Bauman Lumber is locally owned and offers quality products, expert advice, free estimates, and free local delivery for large or small projects. Whether it's a home improvement project, remodel job, or all new construction, they even welcome special orders. Quality building materials and affordable prices for residential or commercial projects can be found at Bauman Lumber, 1223 Sale Barn Road, Fort Pierre, or call 223-9762.
Back at Riggs High Gym, hearing from Bauman Lumber, and they sponsor our Bauman Lumber Player of the Game. And for the Governors, it's good to see once again Marina Bushbaum coming to life, getting some good swings, especially in that third set. It's always fun to watch the lefties swing, and when Bushy's got some things going, she can be quite a weapon, just like we saw Allie Keys on Saturday. But again, Allie Keys got neutralized with just 3 kills this evening, and not a lot of offense in the grand scheme of things for the Governors, averaging, oddly enough, they averaged 6 or so kills per game. They had 11 kills in that second set, but it quieted down once again in the third. And unfortunately, serve receive was a bit of an issue for the most part. A lot of times that's the number one key to success for the Governors. That's one reason that they will fall on the wrong side of the column here tonight. But for the Huron Tigers, a lot of good performances this evening. And I'll be honest, my player of the game till midway through the third set was going to be Jency Gergen. 4 aces and really good set passing for most of the night. The 5'8" sophomore has come a long way, and she's done a good job for the Tigers. But then Allie Davis got hot, and this match ended. If the Governors had any thoughts about forcing a fourth set, Allie Davis said, nope, not this time. 8 kills in the third game, and most of those coming after the halfway point. She'll finish with 14 overall. Gets an ace in there, gets a block point as well. Allie Davis, the 5'7" senior. She's kind of the leader on this squad, and she is our Bauman Lumber Player of the Game. We'll get her a T-shirt noting her accomplishments from KGF Exports and Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre as she leads the Tigers to this straight set sweep here tonight. So, looking at upcoming action, the Tigers have Rapid City Schools on Friday and Saturday. They will host 20-4 Rapid City Stevens on Friday, and then they'll host Mitchell on Saturday afternoon. The Governors take to the road to go to Lennox, a Class A team that they've never played before, but the Lennox Orioles are undefeated, and it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. Tough match coming up. Before we get going, Coach Carrie Wheelhouse has sent one of her minions up here, and it's Molly Olson, to talk about the unfortunately the loss here, Molls. But this is a tough one. I know you guys came in and thinking perhaps you'd be able to compete with the Huron Tigers. It's a team, they've had their struggles, but I think a team whose record is a little bit better than it indicates. They can certainly play well. What was the biggest challenges that you players faced against this Huron team tonight?
I think one of the biggest challenges was definitely that they mixed up the ball every time. They'd roll it, they'd hit it, they'd tip it, and we just weren't reading that good enough. So then they'd get easy kills on us.
The tips really were very successful for them. And, sometimes you have to anticipate, but what is the key or what is the secret, especially when you're mostly in the back row? I mean, how do you get up there and cover all those tips?
I think we just need to be able to react faster, and I think we need to get a little quicker at reading the ball and having better volleyball IQ, because we've all been playing for a long time, and that stuff we should have by now.
Is it tough to see them coming when your blockers are getting up as high as you can? Maybe you just don't see the motion of
not most of the time. We just need to get better at all reading the hitter's hands, seeing if they're going to tip it, throw it, roll it, swing.
Okay. So, I mean, Huron, the way they played tonight, if you watch film on that, do you learn what do you learn by watching maybe a match like this that you can take into your next match?
Yeah, we learned a lot. We all watched film. We talked about it. We knew that number 18, if she was on, she'd go line. If she was off, she'd roll it or go cross. And we probably needed to read that a little better, but
she got hot. And when hitters are hot, they're tough to stop, aren't they? I don't care how well you might be playing in the back row. It's tough to stop a hot hitter. So, as far as hitters go, as far as Pierre hitters go, on Saturday you guys got Allie swinging pretty good, and we can see what kind of a punch she can pack. But tonight, Erna gets a couple of them in there too.
Yeah, she had a good night.
Yeah, and what you really need is to get everybody swinging together. And as a setter, what are the challenges that you and Sloan face in just getting the ball placed? And are you trying to work through some things? Sometimes you got things going. Sometimes it's a bit of a struggle, though.
Yeah, I try and give it to whoever's hot, and most of the time, if we're off, I try and go outside. And with Sloan, she has Marina as a lefty, so it's pretty easy for her to go out or right. But with Sloan on the right side, my only option's usually outside or back row.
Okay.
So,
well, you look at upcoming now. You got Lennox, and I don't think you probably know too much about them, other than the fact that they've been pretty much unbeaten all season long. So it's just another opportunity to play a good team. But what do you say? Just go in there and give it everything you got. See what happens.
I think we need to go in there with a good mindset and pick up more balls and go for more things, so that we can have at least a good aggressive game.
I have to ask you, because I've seen it for years on Dig Pink nights, does the pink get a little bit distracting at all? That's my personal opinion.
Not really, but we got these new arm sleeves, and I didn't wear my elbow pads, so my elbows hurt a lot right now.
Well, get them out of here, and we'll just be green and white on Saturday.
Yeah.
Molly, thanks for coming up.
You.
All right, good luck ahead. And she will yield the headset to Carrie Wheelhouse, who has also come up to talk about this one. A bit of a frustrating night for the Governors. Didn't know if we'd see the coach, so we applaud her for coming up to talk about this one. By the way, we'll talk more about postseason soccer and things like that still to come in this Family Dental postgame. Coach, welcome aboard once again here. And I was talking with Molly Olson, I think you guys had reason to be confident coming in here. It was a good matchup for you, but when Huron scores the first 8 points of the night, it had to be kind of a tough row to hoe. As it turned out, you got better in the second and third sets, but sometimes it's just how you start that kind of dictates where the night's going to go.
Yeah, we had a kind of a conversation in the locker room. Like, it just seems like if we lose that first point, it's really hard for us to get like our mindset put together, because I think we come out with a fire, and then if we don't see that turn into success off the first point, it's hard for us to get kind of back on track. And they're a good serving team. They're target servers. We knew that they were going to change the ball around where they were going to be hitting it, serving it too. And so once we kind of figured that out and who's going to be the better, how do we set up and change around so that we get our best passers back there, we started to pick that up a little bit more. But it was just to get rolling right away. Once we lost that first point, it just kind of set us off.
Yeah, serve receive was a bit of a struggle tonight. And like I talked with Molly, it seemed like covering up the tips were that's kind of where Huron was making their living early on, not to mention the good block that they had and getting all those ace blocks in the first set right off the bat.
Yeah, it's one of those things what we need to read a little bit better. We knew that they didn't have, hard hitters, and I think that's where we play better against somebody like Brandon Valley, where they've just got hard hitters, and we know just to expect it because we pick those up really well. We just don't do a good job of reading that side of the court where, you can see their hand coming that they're going to be tipping. They're not going to roll, and then once we talked to Allie and said, hey, they've got a nice block up there. Why don't you go high hands, go over it, go around it, use the block against you. Then it started working for us because they were expecting those hard hits. And then if we didn't hard hit, we got the kills off of them. So hoping that we can get the girls to start seeing that stuff a little bit faster. We talked about that in the post game. So things we're going to work on, trying to get them to get to doing some of that stuff faster without us having to tell them, get that volleyball IQ up. Challenging them to, go out and watch some games and pick out their position and start studying why they're doing it, so that they're not always looking to us, what are we supposed to be doing? They need to get some of that volleyball IQ so that they can see that and then change it.
You've talked about good communication through a lot of this season, I think, but if you're not getting those reads off of the tips and stuff like that, is communication lacking tonight?
A little bit. We work in practice on where if they see a tip that everybody's supposed to be calling tip and everybody's supposed to be going for it, and then we're not reading that and we're not doing that in the game. And I think it's just more we're kind of a little timid when we get to the game and we go back to old habits. And so trying to get that stuff to be ingrained in us, something that we're just doing naturally instead of when we get into chaos or something's not going right, going back to those old habits of, I'm just kind of panicked and not talking, or I'm not going where I know I'm supposed to. And how many of them that you saw them like go for the ball and then they hesitate and then they go again. By that point, it's too late. And if they would have just gone, they would have been in the right spot. So trusting themselves that they're now, when they do have that volleyball IQ, that they can trust themselves with it.
Yeah. So some teams are good at disguising things like that too, and some hitters are as well. So now you got Lennox coming up. The Lennox Orioles, and by golly, it's a team that's as if that Sioux Falls area doesn't have enough great teams, and the Sioux Falls Christians and the Del Rapids, and then you go down to Dakota Valley, and I mean, now here are the Lennox Orioles, who at least were 18-0 or something like that, and I bet you haven't seen a lot about them or a lot of them, but just go in there and maybe, I don't know, learn a little bit, but then it's just all about making adjustments on the fly against an unknown team.
Yeah, we'll go do some film study and look at them. We try not to do too many games ahead of time because then, it's trying to focus on the one game at a time, like we're talking about. They're 18 on the outside, every time that she's off the net, she hits a cross. When she's on the net, she hits line. And we didn't pick up on that. So that's the kind of stuff that we need to start watching and then translating onto the court. And so we'll go out and do that against Lennox in the next few days. We've got a few days of practice that we can work on and get that kind of rolling. But really, right now, it's just for us to get our fundamental on our side of the net.
Okay, Coach, back to the drawing board. We'll see you on Saturday, okay? Thanks for coming up. Gary Wheelhouse, along with Molly Olson, to talk about this one in our Family Dental post game. Huron sweeping the Governors here at Riggs High tonight. So once again, Govs at Lennox on Saturday. It is Huron hosting Stevens on Friday, and then Mitchell on Saturday in their upcoming action. And then next Tuesday, Huron's got Sioux Falls Roosevelt, while the Governors have those Harrisburg Tigers coming up next Tuesday as well. So let's take a look at what has happened in soccer. And I don't think I've got a score yet, but the Pierre Governor boys have just apparently lost their match down at Sioux Falls Christian. So their season will come to an end at 6-5-4 overall. Governor girls did get a win at the PILC soccer fields today, though, 5-1 over Mitchell, and they will take on the Watertown Arrows coming up on Saturday. I presume that to be an afternoon kickoff. That'll be we'll put playoff soccer on River 92.7, Pierre at Lennox, volleyball at 2:30. We'll have that here most likely once again on KGFX, as the Govs will be hosting Watertown once again at PILC on Saturday. And that's an assumption also after a night after Governor football gets to play on Hollister Field. You can join us in our next broadcast for Pierre Governor Sports on Friday night when the Governors host the Sturgis Scoopers. I'll be on the air with that one, joined by John Calda at 6:25 for the pregame and 7 o'clock with the opening kick. So hope you can join us for that. And again, for Governor soccer and volleyball on Saturday. We wish safe travels to the Huron fans heading back east on Highway 14. For all of those on the road, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds us all that it is text or drive. There is no and. Remember, no texting and driving. Buckle up every trip, every time. That reminder from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. Our thanks to Brian Menning for running live stream with Live Ticket. You can rewatch this match if you'd like on the KGFX page of drgnews.com or on your smartphone app of DRG News or on the Live Ticket YouTube feed as well. And for Haley Hansen in studio for running technical direction, I'm Brian Oakland. Once again, Huron gets the 3-game sweep. Governor Volleyball on your official voice to the Govs, KGFX, DRGnews.com has been brought to you by the Pierre Sports marketing sponsors, including Bank West, and also Live Ticket, Century Business Products, Kruger Contracting, Overhead Door, New Edge Advisors, Avera Orthopedics, and by Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, Superior Concrete, Dakota Storm Roofing, Beck Motors, and the Brittany Shufflebine Agency, LLC. Governor Sports also brought to you in part by Oahe Federal Credit Union, Slumberland Furniture, Wagner Auto, Ferding Electric, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Cathay Sonnenschein Properties, the Remcoda Hotel, American Bank and Trust, Zander Auto Parts, Bauman Lumber, the Pierre Regional Airport, and Tokyo Japanese Cuisine. Governor Sports also brought to you by Avera Health, May Adam Law Firm, TMA, Dakota Mart, Hag Ag, Graham Tire, and Access Health of Fort Pierre. And Governor Sports brought to you within the broadcast by Venture Communications, serving Central South Dakota, also by Bank West, South Dakota's offices of Highway Safety and the Attorney General, Consumer Protection, by Agtegra, CHS River Plains, Family Dental, Bauman Lumber, and Wagner Auto, the one place to go. Your final Wagner Auto scoreboard in straight sets. The Huron Tigers defeat the Pierre Governors 25-9, 25-19, 25-19. By the way, Stanley County football on KGFX is off for this week, and there will be no football game on KGFX coming up on Friday night. All of the scores and the updates on the station pages of drgnews.com. I'm Brian Oakland. This has been a presentation of the official voice of the Pierre Governors, KGFX and drgnews.com. Good evening, everybody.